My child, my beloved. The moment you opened this message, heaven stirred. You felt a pull in your spirit because something divine had finally reached you. And Archangel Michael is standing beside you whispering, "Please, don't ignore this now, this is the moment your life changes forever." My beloved, listen carefully. A heavenly miracle has already touched your earthly life. Bank officials are confused, shaken, stunned. Because a check worth trillions has been deposited in your name. But they cannot understand who sent it. And why it carries a divine seal they have never seen before. My child, breathe slowly. Because this blessing did not come from the world. It came from the one who watches you. The one who knows your struggles. The one who refuses to let you live small anymore. Archangel Michael says, "My beloved chosen one, you only have 3 minutes. Heaven allowed me to reveal what the bank cannot see. The sender's name is written in light, not ink. And if you delay, the window will close. And the blessing meant for you will return to heaven. My beloved, lean closer. There is a reason you are reading this right now. This message did not appear by chance. Your spirit was called. Your destiny was activated. Your season of lack was rejected by heaven itself. But my child, before I tell you more, promise yourself you won't scroll away. Because this message carries your breakthrough. And heaven has tried 3 times to deliver it. But something kept blocking it until now. My beloved, if you want heaven to keep guiding you, if you want these divine messages to never miss you again, make sure you follow this page right now. So every miracle that belongs to you reaches you without delay. Now listen. The officials saw the amount. And their hands began to tremble. It wasn't just money. It was a supernatural signature of abundance. A divine transfer created only for you. My child, they tried searching for the sender. They checked every database, every record, every system. Nothing. Because the sender isn't from this world. The sender is from heaven. And the name that is written, the name that is glowing on that check, is the same name whispering to you now. Archangel Michael. My beloved, your life is not supposed to stay the same after this message. Your season of struggle has an expiration date. And heaven says that date is today. You only have 3 minutes. And if you keep reading, I will reveal the reason heaven chose you. And what will happen when you accept this miracle. My beloved. As you kept reading, something inside you awakened. A quiet voice whispered, "This is for you, don't look away." And that voice wasn't imagination. It was Michael himself trying to stop you from missing what heaven has waited years to release into your life. My child, you have carried burdens silently. No one knows the depth of the nights you stayed awake. No one knows the prayers you whispered into your pillow. No one knows the moments you pretended to be strong, when your heart was breaking inside. But heaven saw every moment you stayed faithful, even when life gave you every reason to collapse. And that is why this miracle check was written in your name. Not because of luck. Not because of chance. But because of your endurance. Your resilience. Your goodness. Your heart. My beloved, listen. When the officials first touched the check, the lights in the entire room flickered. The printer on the table restarted. The computer screens froze for a moment. As if the natural world could not comprehend what had just entered the system. The senior officer leaned forward and said, "There must be a mistake. No ordinary person receives this amount. Out of nowhere. But my child, you are not ordinary. And heaven refused to let you live like you are. My beloved, heaven has chosen you for overflow. Heaven has chosen you for abundance. Heaven has chosen you for restoration so big that even those who doubted you will bow their heads and say, 'How did this happen? How did you rise so suddenly?' My child, there are only a few moments left before I reveal the sender's purpose. But I must tell you something important. The blessing has a condition. You must be spiritually open to receive it. Because a closed heart cannot hold a miracle. And right now, your heart is opening. Your spirit is hearing. Your destiny is aligning. My beloved, Archangel Michael says, there is a reason this message found them at this exact second. Their destiny has entered a turning point. If they read even one paragraph less, the miracle would remain sealed. But you didn't stop. You didn't scroll away. You kept reading. And that is why heaven is ready to reveal the truth. My child, the check is not just money. It is a sign. A sign that your dry season is ending. A sign that the cycle of loss is breaking. A sign that heaven is rewriting your story. With abundance, protection, and divine favor. But listen carefully. The officials tried calling you. Yes, they did. But every time they dialed your number, the line cut automatically. A strange interference. Something blocked them from reaching you. Because only this message could unlock the miracle. Not a phone call. My beloved, the bank officers are still confused. But in heaven, there is no confusion. Only purpose. And the purpose is this. You are meant to rise. You are meant to prosper. You are meant to step into a destiny where nothing you lost will remain lost. My child, this miracle is not a recovery. It is a replacement. A restoration. A complete divine compensation. For every tear you cried in silence. But now, beloved, I must tell you something that may shake your heart. The sender wrote a message on the check. A heavenly instruction. A command meant only for your eyes. And the message reads, "Give this blessing to the one whose heart stayed pure." My beloved, that one is you. You don't know how many people heaven tested. You don't know how many souls were watched silently. To see whose heart remained soft. Whose intentions remained clean. Whose faith remained unbroken. And you were chosen. My child, something divine is unfolding around you. If you could see the spiritual world right now, you would see angels moving, shifting, preparing. Arranging every blessing that was delayed. Every destiny that was paused. Every opportunity that was blocked. My beloved, your 3 minutes are almost over. But heaven still has more to reveal. And Michael won't stop speaking. Not a phone call. My beloved, the bank officers are still confused. But in heaven, there is no confusion. Only purpose. And the purpose is this. You are meant to rise. You are meant to prosper. You are meant to step into a destiny where nothing you lost will remain lost. My child, this miracle is not a recovery. It is a replacement. A restoration. A complete divine compensation. For every tear you cried in silence. But now, beloved, I must tell you something that may shake your heart. The sender wrote a message on the check. A heavenly instruction. A command meant only for your eyes. And the message reads, "Give this blessing to the one whose heart stayed pure." My beloved, that one is you. You don't know how many people heaven tested. You don't know how many souls were watched silently. To see whose heart remained soft. Whose intentions remained clean. Whose faith remained unbroken. And you were chosen. My child, something divine is unfolding around you. If you could see the spiritual world right now, you would see angels moving, shifting, preparing. Arranging every blessing that was delayed. Every destiny that was paused. Every opportunity that was blocked. My beloved, your 3 minutes are almost over. But heaven still has more to reveal. And Michael won't stop speaking. Until you understand why this miracle carries your name. My beloved, you said continue, and heaven heard you. Your willingness to receive, your openness, your surrender. These are the reasons Archangel Michael has not stepped away from you. He is still here, standing beside you. Holding the scroll of your destiny in his hands. Whispering softly. They are finally ready. Continue the revelation. My child, listen closely. The moment you agreed to continue, something shifted in the atmosphere around you. A spiritual doorway opened. A doorway that had been locked for years. Not because heaven didn't want to bless you, but because your heart wasn't prepared to carry the weight of what is coming now. But today, your spirit is awake. Your soul is alert. And heaven is ready. My beloved, Archangel Michael says, there is a force that tried to delay this miracle. A shadow of doubt, a chain of fear. A silent voice telling them they do not deserve abundance. But heaven has silenced that voice now. Because this miracle check, this divine deposit, was written in your name long before you were even born. My child, imagine the scene in heaven. A long table surrounded by angels. Scrolls rolled open. Your name glowing on every page. And God saying, the time has come. Release what is theirs. This miracle did not begin today. It began the very first time you cried out for help. When no one was there to hear you. It began the very first time you kept faith. When everything around you was falling apart. It began the moment heaven saw your heart. Choosing goodness when the world gave you reasons to give up. My beloved. The officials at the bank tried again to find the sender. They ran the deposit through every system. They scanned it with every machine. They checked every signature database available to them. But nothing matched. Nothing made sense. Because the check came from a realm no human machine can detect. My child. The amount is so large that the system flagged it as non-human origin. And still, heaven insists. It belongs to you. The banker whispered to his assistant. This amount could change their entire life. Where did it come from? His assistant looked at him and said, I don't know, but something tells me. It wasn't sent by an ordinary person. My beloved. They were right. It wasn't an ordinary person. It was a divine hand. It was the Archangel who has fought battles for you. Since before you knew how to pray. My child, hear this clearly. The check is symbolic, but the miracle is real. The abundance is real. The shift in your destiny is real. The financial breakthrough is real. The divine intervention is real. But to understand the real purpose, you must hear the next part of Michael's message. He says, "My beloved chosen one, this miracle is not just about money. It is about restoring their confidence. It is about healing their wounds. It is about breaking generational limitations that kept their family small for decades. My child, your entire bloodline is about to rise because of you. Heaven chose you to break the cycle. You are the turning point your family never had. You are the light that breaks the pattern. You are the one who lifts generations. My beloved, there is still something the bank officers have not revealed. And heaven says it's time you know it." When they held the check under a special scanner, hidden letters appeared. A message written in golden light. A message only the chosen receiver can understand. And that message was your name. Repeated 3 times. Each time glowing brighter. My child, heaven repeats your name. Because heaven has not forgotten you. Not even once. Not even for a second. Now listen. The next part of this message will reveal why 3 minutes matter. Why heaven rushed this to you today. Why the divine timing could not be postponed. My beloved, you said, "Continue," and heaven opened another layer of the scroll. Archangel Michael stepped forward, closer than before. As if your spirit finally reached the exact frequency where miracles begin to move without resistance. My child, the reason you feel something shifting inside you right now is because heaven is no longer testing your readiness. Heaven is beginning the transfer. Yes, beloved, the transfer. The miracle that was delayed, blocked, paused, is finally being released into motion. And what I am about to reveal is the reason heaven gave you exactly 3 minutes. And not a second more. My beloved, listen carefully. Spiritual miracles do not arrive randomly. They arrive when your timeline and heaven's timeline collide. At the same sacred moment. Today, that collision happened. And when such a moment opens, 3 minutes is all that heaven needs to shift your life into a new dimension. My child, Archangel Michael says. For years, everything they touched slipped away. Every plan they made collapsed halfway. Every blessing got delayed. Not because they were unworthy, but because the spiritual gatekeeper was waiting for the day their heart would no longer fear abundance. Today, that fear broke. The moment you decided to keep reading. The moment you allowed yourself to believe. Archangel Michael stepped forward, closer than before. As if your spirit finally reached the exact frequency where miracles begin to move without resistance. My child, the reason you feel something shifting inside you right now is because heaven is no longer testing your readiness. Heaven is beginning the transfer. Yes, beloved, the transfer. The miracle that was delayed, blocked, paused, is finally being released into motion. And what I am about to reveal is the reason heaven gave you exactly 3 minutes. And not a second more. My beloved, listen carefully. Spiritual miracles do not arrive randomly. They arrive when your timeline and heaven's timeline collide. At the same sacred moment. Today, that collision happened. And when such a moment opens, 3 minutes is all that heaven needs to shift your life into a new dimension. My child, Archangel Michael says. For years, everything they touched slipped away. Every plan they made collapsed halfway. Every blessing got delayed. Not because they were unworthy, but because the spiritual gatekeeper was waiting for the day their heart would no longer fear abundance. Today, that fear broke. The moment you decided to keep reading. The moment you allowed yourself to believe. The moment your spirit whispered, maybe this is finally for me. The chains that held your destiny froze and shattered. My beloved, heaven had to wait until you reached a point of surrender. Because miracles cannot enter a closed heart. And today, the door finally opened. My child, I must now tell you what the bank officers discovered, but were too afraid to speak out loud. When they scanned the check the third time, a number appeared in the corner. Not the amount. Not the sender's ID. But a date. A date connected to your destiny. And my beloved, that date is not in the future. It was the day you hit your lowest point. The day you cried silently. The day you felt forgotten. The day you broke down and whispered into the darkness. God, if you're real, please help me. Heaven marked that day. Heaven remembered your tears. Heaven wrote your name on the scroll of divine compensation. On that very date. And today, the manifestation began. My beloved, do you understand what this means? Your lowest moment became the birthdate of your miracle. My child. Even the angels were shocked. Because your faith didn't collapse. You kept going. You kept believing. You kept hoping, even when nothing around you made sense. That is why heaven chose you. Not the strongest. Not the richest. Not the loudest. But the one whose heart refused to turn dark. My beloved. Archangel Michael now wants to reveal the true purpose of the miracle check. The amount written is symbolic, yes. But the energy behind it is real. It is the energy of restoration, elevation, abundance, recognition, protection, and divine exchange. Michael says, this check represents every blessing delayed, every opportunity stolen, every injustice they suffered in silence. Heaven is returning it all, multiplied. My child, hear this truth. You are not just receiving money. You are receiving position, honor, breakthrough, a new spiritual identity. That aligns with the destiny heaven originally wrote for you. But before I reveal what happens next, you must know one more thing. Something the bank officers didn't understand. But heaven wants you to understand. The sender didn't sign with ink. The signature is made of light. A unique divine seal. That appears only when Archangel Michael himself authorizes a miracle. My beloved. This miracle is heaven's signature on your life. And the next part 1 reveal will show you what is going to happen to your life over the next 72 hours. And why heaven pushed this message to reach you today. At this exact second. My beloved. You said, continue, and the moment that word left your spirit, heaven responded like a rising wave. Archangel Michael has not moved away even for a heartbeat. He is still standing by your side. holding the next part of your destiny in his radiant hands. My child, what I reveal now will explain why the next 72 hours carry a divine shift that has been waiting for years to reach you. Listen closely, beloved. The miracle check is not just a blessing. It is a signal. A heavenly announcement that your timeline has been rewritten. Your destiny has been elevated. Your future has been recalibrated to match what heaven always intended for you. My beloved, Archangel Michael says, the next 72 hours will remove the shadow that has been following them. The shadow of delay. The shadow of lack. The shadow of silent suffering. The shadow of missed opportunities. The shadow of unrecognized worth. My child. For years, you have walked with that shadow behind you. Every time you tried to rise, something pulled you down. Every time you tried to start again, something blocked your way. Every time you prepared to move forward, something silently whispered, you won't succeed. But heaven says, that shadow expires within 72 hours. My beloved, the reason the miracle check came now is because heaven has finally broken the contract of delay. A spiritual document, invisible to your eyes, was cancelled, nullified, destroyed by Michael himself. He stood over your timeline and declared, no more suffering, no more waiting, no more disappointment. Let their life begin again. My child, you can already feel this truth. Something inside you knows. This message didn't reach you by chance. Something inside you is rising, awakening, expanding. Like your soul recognizes this moment as a divine turning point. My beloved, let me now reveal what will unfold in these sacred 72 hours. Within the first 24 hours, your energy will shift. You will feel lighter, calmer, more aligned. Something will release from your chest that you didn't even know you were holding. Within the next 48 hours, a doorway will open. An opportunity, a message, a sign. Something unmistakable that heaven placed directly in your path. And within 72 hours, a confirmation will come. A message from the physical world that matches exactly what heaven released spiritually. My child, this is not imagination. This is not coincidence. This is not wishful thinking. This is divine timing. The kind of timing that only arrives when heaven has decided your suffering season has ended. My beloved, Archangel Michael says, the check is only the beginning. They have no idea how much heaven is about to restore. My child, think of all the things you lost. By Michael himself. He stood over your timeline and declared, no more suffering. No more waiting. No more disappointment. Let their life begin again. My child, you can already feel this truth. Something inside you knows. This message didn't reach you by chance. Something inside you is rising, awakening, expanding. Like your soul recognizes this moment as a divine turning point. My beloved, let me now reveal what will unfold in these sacred 72 hours. Within the first 24 hours, your energy will shift. You will feel lighter, calmer, more aligned. Something will release from your chest that you didn't even know you were holding. Within the next 48 hours, a doorway will open. An opportunity, a message, a sign. Something unmistakable. That heaven placed directly in your path. And within 72 hours, a confirmation will come. A message from the physical world. That matches exactly what heaven released spiritually. My child. This is not imagination. This is not coincidence. This is not wishful thinking. This is divine timing. The kind of timing that only arrives when heaven has decided your suffering season has ended. My beloved. Archangel Michael says, the check is only the beginning. They have no idea how much heaven is about to restore. My child, think of all the things you lost. Time, trust, peace, love, opportunities, finances. Every loss created a spiritual debt. And heaven is repaying that debt now. Not equally, but multiplied. That is why the amount was written in trillions. Not to represent earthly money, but to symbolize limitless, uncontainable divine compensation. My beloved, before I reveal the next part, you must hear this truth. Heaven has been waiting for you to come into alignment with your true destiny. And right now, you are aligned. Your heart is open. Your faith is awakened. Your spirit is receptive. And Michael is ready to speak the next revelation. But this next part is something heaven rarely reveals to anyone. The reason you were chosen. The true purpose behind your blessing. The divine identity heaven has given you since the day your soul was formed. My beloved. You said continue, and heaven opened the deepest chamber of revelation. A chamber that only a few souls ever reach in their lifetime. Archangel Michael steps even closer now. His wings casting a shield of light around your spirit. Because what you are about to hear is not just a message. It is your identity. My child. You have always felt different. Not better than others. But set apart. Misunderstood. Unrecognized. Carrying a depth inside you that even you could not fully explain. And heaven says, that difference was never a burden. It was the mark of the chosen. My beloved, hear this gently. You were not chosen because you were perfect. You were not chosen because you were the strongest. You were not chosen because you always knew the right path. You were chosen because your heart stayed pure. Even when life tried to harden it. You were chosen because you kept believing. Even when reality contradicted your prayers. You were chosen because you carried goodness. Even when your own soul was breaking. You were chosen because heaven needed someone on earth whose spirit could withstand storms without losing compassion. My child. This miracle check. This divine deposit. This supernatural blessing. It carries a spiritual signature that matches only one soul on this earth. Yours. Let me tell you something. Archangel Michael rarely says aloud. You were selected generations ago. Yes, my beloved. Long before you were born. Long before your struggles began. Long before your name was known on earth. Heaven wrote your name in the book of divine exchange. A sacred book where only a few souls are chosen to carry the burden of suffering so that later they may carry the crown of abundance. My child, your pain was not pointless. Your loneliness was not wasted. Your delays were not accidental. Your tears were not ignored. Heaven was shaping you, refining you, preparing you for a blessing too powerful to give early. My beloved, now hear this carefully. The blessing coming to you is not for one moment, or one day, or 1 month. It is a multi-year destiny shift. This check symbolizes a new chapter of wealth, a new season of recognition, a new flow of divine favor, and a breaking of generational lack in your family line. Yes, my beloved, your entire bloodline rises because of you. You are the turning point. You are the breaker of cycles. You are the carrier of divine restoration. Archangel Michael says, they will become the person their ancestors prayed for. You are their answered prayer. You are their divine continuation. You are the one heaven trusted to transform the story of your lineage. My child, now let me tell you why heaven sent this message today, and not yesterday, or last week, or last month. Because today, your heart reached the right level of alignment. Today, your spirit unlocked its next level. Today, your destiny clock struck its appointed hour. Today, the spiritual world declared, release the blessing. They are ready, my beloved. And there is still more. The miracle check carries a hidden line, only visible in divine light. A message handwritten by Michael himself. It says, give them what was denied to their parents and grandparents. Let abundance begin with them. This is your birthright. This is your divine inheritance. This is your season. But now, beloved, heaven wants me to reveal something even more powerful. The 3 supernatural signs that will appear in your life to confirm that the miracle has started. These signs will appear within days, some even within hours. If you are ready to hear the signs, ready to recognize heaven's fingerprints on your path, ready to witness proof that the divine check has already been activated. My beloved, you said continue, and the moment your spirit agreed, a wave of heavenly confirmation moved through your timeline. Archangel Michael now opens the next scroll. A scroll containing the 3 supernatural signs that will prove your miracle has already begun. These signs do not come from coincidence. They do not come from chance. They do not come from luck. They come from heaven's deliberate movement toward your destiny. My child, open your heart. Because once you know these signs, you will recognize them instantly when they appear in your world. The first sign. A sudden, unexplainable peace will wash over you. My beloved, within the next hours, maybe sooner, you will feel a strange calm settling inside you. Not the calm that comes from rest, but the calm that comes from heaven. A weight you have carried for years will quietly lift. Something heavy inside your chest will loosen its grip. A tension that lived in your mind will dissolve without warning. You may pause and wonder, what just happened to me? Why do I suddenly feel lighter? That is the first heavenly sign. It means the shadow that followed you has been removed. It means the spiritual chains that held your blessings have been broken. It means Michael has gone ahead of you and cleared your path. This peace is not the result of the message. It is the result of the miracle already being released. The second sign. A door will open without effort. My child. Within the next 1 or 2 days, something unexpected will shift in your favor. A message, a call, an opportunity, or a moment of clarity will appear in your life without you trying to make it happen. You will look at it and think, how did this open so easily? Why did this arrive now? Why does this feel guided? Because it is guided. This is heaven's second sign. A door only God could open. For years, you worked hard. You struggled. You pushed. You prayed. And things still didn't move. But this time, heaven moves for you. This is the sign that the divine transfer is no longer waiting. It is unfolding. The third sign. A message or symbol of money will appear. My beloved, listen carefully. This is the clearest confirmation of all. Within the next 72 hours, you will encounter a sign related to money. In a way that feels strange, perfectly timed, or impossible to ignore. It could be a sudden increase, a surprising credit, a conversation about unexpected money, a number repeating, a financial opportunity, a message about abundance, a random blessing, a symbolic image, even a dream. But when it happens, you will feel something inside whisper. This is connected. This is the sign. This is heaven showing me. The miracle is active. My child. These 3 signs together are heaven's way of telling you your new destiny has begun. And yet, my beloved, there is still a deeper truth that Michael wants you to know. The miracle check you received spiritually is not just a blessing. It is a shift in identity. You are no longer the person who walks carrying wounds. You are no longer the person who begs for small blessings. You are no longer the person who accepts delays as destiny. You are becoming the person heaven always intended you to be. A person of strength. A person of abundance. A person of divine authority. A person whose life inspires others to believe again. My beloved. Archangel Michael now prepares to reveal the purpose of your blessing. Why heaven is elevating you now. And what this miracle will unlock for the rest of your life. If you are ready to hear why you were chosen now. Why the timing could not be delayed. Why the heavens moved urgently for you today. Say continue, my beloved. My beloved. You said continue, and the moment that intention rose from your spirit, Archangel Michael opened the final section of the divine scroll. The part that explains exactly why you were chosen. And why heaven moved so urgently for you today. My child. This is the revelation that transforms everything. Listen closely with your heart, not just your ears. Why you were chosen. My beloved, heaven chooses souls. Not based on wealth, power, or perfection. But based on heart frequency. The vibration of purity, compassion, endurance, and quiet strength. And your heart. Your heart carries a rare frequency that only a few souls on earth possess. You were chosen because you carried pain without becoming bitter. You carried disappointment without turning cold. You carried silence without losing kindness. You carried burdens while still praying for others. You carried wounds but still chose love. My child. People around you never knew the weight you carried. They never knew the battles you fought silently. They never knew the nights you cried quietly, then wiped your tears before morning, so no one would worry. Heaven knew. Heaven saw every tear, every prayer, every moment you wanted to give up, but didn't. That is why heaven waited for this moment. Because your heart has now reached the maturity required to carry a life-changing blessing, without it being destroyed by fear, doubt, or guilt. Why the check is symbolized in trillions. My beloved. The check is not about the physical money alone. It represents divine compensation. You are not just being blessed. You are being repaid for the love you gave freely, the loyalty you offered without reward, the heartbreaks you endured silently, the betrayal you survived, the kindness you showed that was never returned, the work you did that others took credit for, the prayers you whispered that no one heard but God. The trillions symbolize infinite restoration, infinite abundance, infinite permission to rise, infinite doors opening, infinite flow of blessings that the universe can no longer hold back. This is not an event. This is the beginning of a new lifetime. Why the message arrived today? My beloved. Heaven's timing is precise. Not early. Not late. Perfect. This message reached you today because you closed one emotional chapter recently. Even if you don't realize it. You released an old belief about yourself. Maybe quietly, maybe unknowingly. You outgrew a version of you that could not hold abundance. You entered a vibration of readiness, even without trying. And heaven responded instantly. Archangel Michael says, the moment their spirit shifted, the miracle started moving toward them. This message arrived today because you finally reached your divine receiving posture. Why heaven rushed to you? My child. There was a moment, very recent, when your spirit whispered, I can't carry this alone anymore. That whisper reached heaven. Like a thunder. Heaven leaned in. Heaven listened. Heaven said, give them compensation. Give them restoration. Give them abundance. Give them what was denied for years. This is why the miracle did not delay another day. This is why the check entered your timeline. This is why heaven is standing behind you now. You reached the end of one destiny and the beginning of another. My beloved. But there is one more revelation. The most powerful one of all. Archangel Michael now wants to tell you what your life will look like from this point forward. This is not prediction. This is divine instruction. A glimpse into the reality heaven is constructing for you right now. If you are ready for this vision, the vision of the life heaven is leading you into. A life beyond survival. A life beyond fear. A life beyond limitation.